In this slide, we are going to study how yogurt is prepared on a large scale or industrial scale. We already know that curd preparation is different from yogurt. Curd is prepared at home using warm milk, and small quantity of curd is added to it and left for a few hours, and we find that it gets set after a few hours. But yogurt preparation is on a very large scale, and hence the conventional method that we use at home cannot be used here. So here the method that is used is we make use of microbes, and fermentation of milk is brought about. So here we are using the bacteria Lactobacilli, and this bacteria is going to bring about the fermentation of the milk and convert it into yogurt. So Lactobacilli, that is a small inoculant of it, is added. Inoculant means introducing cells or organisms into a culture medium. So here we are introducing organisms, that is bacteria, that is Lactobacilli, and culture medium here is our milk. So this is a common term, that is inoculant, in microbiology. In microbiology labs, we grow microbes, like for example bacteria can be grown, and for this we need a nutrient medium. Nutrient medium is the food for the bacteria to grow and form new colonies. So nutrient medium is taken, and to it a small quantity of the bacteria to be grown is added. So that small quantity of the bacteria which is added is called as inoculant. So that small quantity, then when it gets the food, multiplies, and new colonies of bacteria can be formed. So here we are going to use a small quantity of Lactobacilli as an inoculant, and it is to be added to the milk whose fermentation we want to bring about so as to prepare yogurt. To this, condensed milk powder is also mixed, and because it is rich in protein content. So milk powder we all are acquainted with. We get it readily in the market, and you only have to add it to water so as to get the milk. So condensed milk powder is also added along with the Lactobacilli so as to increase the protein content of the yogurt that will be formed. Bacterial strains Streptococcus thermophilus and Lactobacillus delbrueckii are added in 1:1 proportion to the milk that is to be fermented. Now there are two strains or two types of bacteria that we are adding. One is Streptococcus thermophilus and the other one is Lactobacillus delbrueckii. So here the Lactobacillus that we were talking about is Lactobacillus delbrueckii. So these two strains or types of bacteria are added in the same proportion, that is 1:1 to the milk that is to be fermented. Now this milk that we are fermenting is already heated. It is already boiled and pasteurized, and once it attains a temperature that is suitable so as to bring about its fermentation, all the ingredients, we can say that is the bacterial strains, are going to be added along with the condensed milk powder. So two types of bacteria are added. Lactic acid is formed due to Streptococcus causing proteins to gel out, giving dense consistency. So we know that the yogurt or the curd that we have at home is of a solid consistency. So this is achieved due to Streptococcus, which forms lactic acid. Now in the previous slide we have seen that how the lactose in the milk, that is sugar in the milk, gets converted to lactic acid due to the microbes that we are adding. So Streptococcus strain here is responsible for the conversion of lactose to lactic acid, and finally this lactic acid causes the proteins to gel out or coagulate, and dense consistency is going to be formed. Acetaldehyde CHO like compounds are formed due to lactobacilli that impart characteristic taste to yogurt. Now Acetaldehyde is a carbon compound. We will be studying more about it when we study carbon compounds lesson. And the CHO group that you are seeing here is the functional group for acetaldehyde. Now, acetaldehyde is a byproduct of this entire process. So the lactobacilli is responsible for the formation of acetaldehyde like compound, and it is due to the formation of this particular substance that the yogurt is going to get its characteristic taste. So we often find that the curd that we purchase from outside, that is the yogurt that we are getting from outside, has got a different consistency also and a taste also. So that is on account of the substances that we have added to it. Shelf life and probiotic properties of yogurt can be improved by pasteurization. So we have already seen this, that the milk that we are using is already pasteurized. The unwanted bacteria are killed, but those which are going to be helpful to us, like Streptococcus thermophilus, Lactobacillus delbrueckii. So these are going to be useful to us because they have got probiotic properties, that is, they are good for our gut, that is intestines, and even shelf life, that is how long it can last. Sometimes the food items have got very short shelf life, like vegetables or fruits, they have got short shelf life. After a few days they get spoiled, so that is called as shelf life. So we can increase the shelf life as well as the probiotic properties of yogurt by pasteurization. So this is how the process of yogurt formation occurs. The next dairy product is butter. There are two types of butter, that is sweet cream, that is salted or unsalted butter. So we have seen butter that we purchase from outside has got salt to it, whereas the one which we prepare at home is white in color generally, and it is unsalted. So this sweet cream butter can be salted or it can be unsalted butter. Cultured butter is another type of butter. Now, here the word cultured refers to the microorganisms that we are going to add so as to make butter. So it's the microbial culture, or we can say the inoculant, that you are going to add so as to make butter. Now, you must have all seen your mothers making butter at home. So the method that we use to prepare butter at home is just to heat the milk. And when you heat the milk, the fats being lighter, they come on the top. And after a few hours, when the milk cools down, it forms a thick layer of fat, which we call it as the malai, or it can be called as even the cream. So what do? Is we remove this malai or cream and we start storing it in the refrigerator. After considerable amount of cream has been collected, we churn it, and on churning you get the butter. But here we are not adding any culture. Here we are not adding any microorganism when we are doing the preparation of butter at home. But when you want to prepare butter on a very large scale, then you need to add the microbes. So it is called as cultured butter. So it is made from cream that is cultured with active bacteria. So here also the fat cream is taken, but it is mixed with active bacteria. That is before churning. Before we are going to churn it, we are going to add the bacteria. It has distinctive and slightly tangy taste. So due to the presence of the bacteria, it's going to have a slightly different taste to it, and the taste is slightly tangy. It is more silky and has richer taste. Uncultured butter goes straight into churning machine. So as we do it at home, it is not cultured and hence it is uncultured butter, and that is going to be going directly into the churning machine, or we use a churner at home to prepare this butter. So these are the two ways in which the butter can be prepared, and on a large scale when you want to do this, you need a bacterial culture.